Hello everybody, how are we all doing? Hope you are all well. We have, courtesy of Games Workshop, we have the new Space Marine Jump Pack Intercessors here to review, and we're going to have a quick look through the sprues and everything. Spoilers, not a fan. Yeah. Anyway, right. to hear, yeah. Burying the lead a little bit early there, but yeah, we get five jump pack intercessors in the box. Yeah, let's have a look at the sprues and have a chat, a conversation. We're going to talk about these bad boys. So we do get the insane cool new transfer sheet. So you got Ultramarines, Imperial Fist, Salamanders, Raptors. They never put the chapters that I have on here, but no, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. You do get plenty on here. You got the numbers and the Roman numerals, and then plenty of little skulls, which is always really useful. Salamanders are quite cool because you do get the flames as well. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Jump pack intercessors. Now, the kit themselves, the kit itself is fine. Like, the kit itself is fine. The quality and everything is still absolutely perfect. They come on. They got 32mm bases, and we'll get that one out of the way straight away. They come with the regular intercessor heads. So as you can see here, the regular intercessor, is it Mark 10? I can't remember what mark we're on now. But the regular helmets, and like I was saying a few videos ago, I really like how the Mark 7 helmets look on like the new Primaris armor, and it would be really cool if I could get a few more kind of Mark 7 helmets to put on to kind of scatter through, or even just like have all my Dark Pharaons with Mark 7 helmets. I think it looks amazing. I think it's the nostalgia nudge of this is what a Space Marine should look like, and it's that helmet. It's that iconic helmet. But this is all the sprue. Now, they come with a bolt pistol or a heavy bolt pistol or whatever it is. It's a bolt pistol. You're never going to use it. It's never going to actually do anything. And they come with a chainsaw as well. Whoop-de-doo. So you have 5 assault intercessors. They charge in. They do a little bit of damage with some chainsaws and some bolt pistols on orcs, maybe, because they don't really have a save. Yay. Yeah, I think that's where it stems from. That's where my issue stems from, and it kind of goes back to all the Primaris stuff, really. In terms of, I mean, the jump packs are quite cool. The jump packs do look really cool. I do like the little, I don't know what you would call those, like stabilizing fins, like the ones that you get on the bottom of the SpaceX landing booster when it comes back down. Kind of comes and lands down. You get loads and loads of bits as always, so you get plenty of purity seals. So there's a fair bit of kind of stuff on here, so you get plenty of pouches. Like, I'm not entirely sure what they're going to keep them with the pouches, but that's fine. And yeah, the fact that Space Marines no longer seem to be tactical just really it just grinds on me over and over. It's so frustrating. So okay, I want a fast unit that's going to be able to take on a small unit of orcs. Okay, cool, we've got you sorted here. Have some jump pack intercessors. Okay, but like, what if I want to like maybe deal with a tank, or maybe deal with some elite stuff? Well, no, they can't do that. They can only do this. So that's my issue. Like the old tactical Marines, the old tactical squads would have a multi-melter and a flamer, or a las cannon. The sergeant would have like a special weapon. The sergeant in here can have a special weapon, so he can have a power sword, or he can have a power fist. He's got a power fist here, and he can have a plasma pistol. Yay, whoop-de-doo. But it's not like you can split the unit and have some of them with chainswords for when they run into orcs, and then a couple of them with thunderhammers, or an intercessor version of a thunderhammer, so that they can like smack into a vehicle and like knock the vehicle out, and then the rest of the people in the squad can kill everybody who was in the vehicle. It's not a tactical unit, and it's such a pathetic it's such a it's such a pathetic like bug of mine about the Primaris stuff. It's like it's so whiny, and I get it. It just really bugs me that like it's like the new Infernus Marines are fantastic. They're really really nice models, but I don't want a whole unit of them. Like it's completely overkill. If I have an entire unit of Infernus Marines, that's going to kill all the hordes in the world 4 times over because they're just like re-rolling hits, re-rolling wounds. Well, not hitting because they're flamers, but you get my point. Like put an Infernus Marine in an Intercessor squad, or give one of these guys a flamer so he can come down and flame as everybody's landing, and then they can all come down and cut up everything out. It's just the lack of weapon variety and options in the Primaris stuff. Rant done. Okay, so can we get the rant? I think we might just put a line underneath that rant. Put a message down below. Comment down below if you agree that Primaris stuff is no longer tactical. Oh dear. Right, now in terms of the poses, I think the poses are all right. I'm kind of pleased that they're moving away from the flight stands. I quite like the lack of flight stands. I think it maybe takes away a little bit of the dynamic poses that you can do, because obviously these ones are either landing or they're jumping off. Probably landing, because I don't think they're actually going to jump that much. I think they're more well, I mean they are jump packs, so but yeah, I think these are more, although he's pretty much jumping off. Anyway, so you've got the little rocks underneath all their feet, so that they've just given them a little bit of height. Now, one thing I do like doing with things like this, I did it with my Triarch Praetorians as well, because Triarch Praetorians have also got like jump packs on them, so they can morph and zoom around a little bit. One of the things I do like doing about with these is removing like the blocks. So if you've got this block of concrete here that the foot is on, removing that block, putting a very very small pin in there, and then putting the pin in the base, and then the pin is a little bit more visible, and then visually it looks like the foot is just a fraction. Well, it is. The foot is a fraction higher than the base, but the pin disappears, so it looks like they're kind of a little bit more in mid-air, if you like. So that's one of the things that I quite like doing. I might do it on a few of these just to see what it looks like. But in terms of everything else, you get a chainsaw and a bolt pistol. The Sergeant gets a little bit more of a special gun because he has a plasma pistol, which still doesn't really do anything. And he can also have a flamer, a hand flamer, or a power fist. So you can have a power sword or a power fist, and then a plasma pistol or a hand flamer. Yeah, okay, cool. Everybody else gets the heavy bolt pistols and the chainswords. The detail on the inside of these looks really really cool. It just looks really cool. Like I say, I do quite like the fact that it's got these little fins, kind of like stabilizing fins here as well. And then they also come with tilt shields, so they all have their own little personal tilt shield as well, which is quite cool. I think they've all got them. No, they don't all have them. That's just the sergeants. So it's just the sergeant that gets a tilt shield, which I suppose is fair enough. It gives a little bit of rank, I suppose. In terms of quality, I mean, Space Marines are nice and chunky anyway, so there's not a lot of kind of fine detail around, but as always, the detail and the clarity of this detail is insane. Everything is nice and crisp. In terms of mold lines, the mold lines are a little bit kind of bigger than maybe you expect on a brand new kit. Looking at that one there, I don't know whether you can see. Let me zoom in on here so you can see a little bit better. So that's the state of the mold line on here. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. The Tyranids, a lot of the Tyranids had virtually no mold lines, which was quite nice to see. These ones, not quite so much. I don't think, is there anything that's got any? Let's have a look at the backpack actually. Where's the mold line on the backpack going to be? So the mold line on the backpack, is that going to be a join across there? We'll have a look at that when it gets there. It looks that's going to sit across there. So yeah, you're going to have a join across the top there, which might be a little bit awkward to to clean up, depending on whether it's supposed to be. So when they put a join on a flat surface here, so this bit here is you're gonna cut this out. That's gonna sit onto there, and you're gonna have a join in there. Now, when they put the join there and it's flush, it's supposed to be flush, then that's fine, because you can fill this with glue, and then they sit together and they fit together. Now, one of the things that I'm a little bit worried about is that is supposed to be a panel line. Now, if it's a panel line, it's really difficult to glue together, because if you put glue there, it's going to squeeze out and the panel line disappears. So hopefully that join there is supposed to be flush, because then you can squeeze the glue out, sand it back, and it's nice and flush. So we'll see what that's like when we get that done, and when we get that all assembled up. But yeah, they look quite cool. I don't know what. This is another weird little thing. They've started doing this on all the Assault Intercessor stuff. The Blade Guard had them as well. They've got these kind of slightly more armoured pauldrons, if you like, on here. So rather than a regular arm with the forearm and then the hand here, they've got these pauldrons which seem to kind of come over and cover everything. It only seems to be on the Assault Intercessor, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be like almost like a buckler. So they're fighting. They've got just a little bit more armor on there, but it's just one of those things that doesn't seem to fit the aesthetic of it. Anyway, it's not too bad. I'd prefer it if it was those, just kind of sits in and neatens everything up. Now, I do like the little jet on the feet. It's a little bit of a throwback to the suppressor kit. So I think we should build one of these up. I don't think it's going to take very long to build up. We'll probably kind of snip off a fair few. How many bear heads have we got actually? We've got one bear head, we've got two bear heads, we've got three bear heads with a mask on, which is quite cool. We've got 4 bear heads, and then hopefully there is one on here as well. So we've got 5 bear heads. Yes, there we go. So we do have 6 bear heads. So you've got options for bear heads if you want everybody to have a bear head, which is cool. And then you also have 6 helmets, which is interesting. That one has the sergeant's skull on his helmet, so you've got the sergeant's helmet in there if you want to have everybody as helmets. Interesting. Right, okay, so let's get all of these built up. I don't think the instructions are going to be particularly difficult. It'll be, yeah, there we go. So stick the jump packs together. 2 parts of the body, legs, and then the arms will because there's no like two-handed weapons. All the arms will fit on all the bodies, which will be quite cool. So we'll have a play around with all of those. So there's a sergeant. He can have a bolt pistol, a hand flamer, or a plasma pistol. Whoop-de-doo. And then there's all the just regular Assault Intercessors themselves with jump pack Assault Intercessors. Right, so I'm going to stop waffling. I apologise for my rant. Maybe I apologise for my rant. I'll consider it. Anyway, let's get these built up, and we'll have a look and see what they look like when they are done. Okay, so I might I might have got a little bit carried away here. You'd have seen how I was mounting these on their little flight stands, the little pegs. We're going to kind of so they'll be painted black, which will kind of make them disappear a little bit in the eye line anyway. Or I'm also going to put a couple of like tufts down at the bottom as well, just to hide them even more. But I've done it on all of them, and then the rocks which they were jumping off in inverted commas in the first place we put on the bases anyway. A lot of my dark pharaons have these little bases on the little bits of rock, sculpted rock on their bases anyway, so that kind of matches in quite well. However, I have I've slightly done a few tweaks here and there. For instance, I've done a flamer. So I think he looks pretty. I think he looks pretty cool. It is literally. It's ever so simple. It's literally just one of the Infernus Marines arms stuck on. So I think it looks absolutely fine. And then we also did a twin lightning claw, because just lightning claws on assault marines just looks so cool. So there we go. We got some jump assault intercessors with lightning claws. Now. One of the things that I was kind of contemplating when I was thinking about this and how it would work, is there's only one weapon choice for the models anyway. So as long as you can spot the sergeant, like everybody's just going to have the same stat line anyway. So in theory, it doesn't really matter about this, and in that case. I might have slightly gone and started doing some intercessors as well, but that's kind of beside the point. Played around with some intercessors with like a heavy bolter in the squad, because like they've all got the same stat line. However, they go together really, really well. You will have seen how easy it is just to drill a hole into there. This is 2mm a plastic rod. I also did one with a spear shaft as well, but that was just a little bit thin and it was a little bit too wobbly, so I went back to the plastic rod. But you can, if you do get a spear from like a Dark Eldar spear or something like that, that's a great way to get access to something like that. Some little rods that you can then pop into the models. When you're gluing them, just try and take reference angles as you're drilling in, and to make sure that you've kind of got the angle right. But you have, as you can see here, you have a little bit of leeway because you can angle it once it's in, and once they are glued, you'll see me drop a little bit of glue around the base. If you drop them on the table like that, they will kind of naturally settle into an angle. If you need to manipulate that, then you can do, but just drop a little bit of glue around the base then. And then I just put a drop of super glue on once it was all dry as well, just to make sure that they've got absolute security on there. Now, the other little thing that I wanted to show you was that's one with the helmet. So that's a jump assault intercessor with a Mark. Is it? I still don't know. I need to check. I think it might be Mark 9. I think Mark 10 is the Gravis, so I think this is Mark 9. So there's a Mark 9 helmet on a jump assault intercessor. And the kit also comes with some bear heads. So you can have, there we go. You can have some bear heads on the intercessors as well. Try and get that in there straight. There we go. So you can also have some bear heads on there. There are enough bear heads to have them all bare. You can have but basically there's 5 helmets, there's 5 bear heads, and then there's a helmet with the sergeant thing on, sergeant marking on, the little skull on the center. So you can equip them however you like. I do quite like them with the bear heads. However, here is, for instance, the sergeant, and what we're going to do is we're going to quickly put on a Mark 7 helmet because, again, I like doing this, and I think I'm going to start doing this in every single video because it just looks like a Space Marine. This is a Space Marine helmet. I need to get lots more Mark 7 helmets because that just looks fantastic. Just that simple change makes such a difference. Makes such a difference to the look of the models. And like that face mask, the gas mask on the front is just so iconic to Space Marines. I think it's a nostalgia nod. Please drop a message down below which one of these you like, and whether, if you do like this one or if you do like the Mark 9, just let me know whether it's a nostalgia like nod. Just let me know whether you think that is an iconic Space Marine or whether you've kind of grown up with this one and this is the one that stuck with you. But for me, I think I really I really want to start doing getting hold of enough Mark 7 helmets to swap all of my Dart Pharaons out onto Mark 7 helmets. So if you have a good source of Mark 7s, I think it's just go and buy lots and lots of tactical squads and throw the rest on eBay, but we will see. Yeah, there we go. I thought it would be quite fun just to do a variation and lots of variables on weapons. Like I was saying, like it doesn't really matter in terms of stat line and stuff because they've all got exactly the same weapons. You cannot change the weapons. The only weapons you can change on these guys are just the sergeant. So the sergeant can have a power fist and a plasma pistol, which is like the way you would go, probably because you need a bit of punch if you're going up against something with a bit more armor. And then the plasma pistol, just because it's a plasma pistol and everybody likes overcharging and killing themselves. It's 40k, right? But then, like, that's still going to be a chainsaw and a bolt pistol because, like, there's no options for the unit at all. So it doesn't, in my head, it doesn't really matter. And if I'm rocking up at a tournament with a cool-looking Assault Intercessor squad like this. And I was trying to find very quickly. I was trying to find a Thunder Hammer so I could give one of them the Thunder Hammer. And I know the Intercessors kit comes with a Thunder Hammer. And I was trying to find that one, but I think I've used them all, so I didn't have one spare. But yeah, I was going to throw a Thunder Hammer on here as well. But like I say, until they give them any more options, like this is the only stat line you can roll with anyway. So I don't see the problem with rocking with rocking around like that. I think it looks amazing. The only issue you're going to have is that maybe people will think it's they're Vanguard veterans with jump packs or something. But just tell them they're Assault Intercessors. I can't see the problem. But I think it looks great with a flamer. I think having like little flamers, little tactical weapons within small tactical squads, I think just looks great, and it's so iconic and brilliant. So yeah, in terms of kit, fantastic, goes together very well, as you will have seen. It's classic Space Marine, two sides of a torso, stick the legs on. The poses are really cool. There's one, I think it's that one, which is a little bit walky. It looks like he's walking. So like you could probably, I mean you could quite easily just use the swap these out for some of the regular Intercessors, actually no, you can't do that because you've got these little jump packs, the jump jets on the back feet. I do actually really like those. I think they look great. But yeah, there we go. I think they look awesome. They do look really good, and I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased with the cheeky flamer. I think it looks fantastic. So yeah, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and throw some special and heavy weapons into all my Intercessor squads. Particularly now that the Intercessors have got like all the stat lines for the weapons of the Intercessors are now like they're all involved. So they've all got bolt rifle, assault bolt rifle, and the regular bolt rifle, the heavy bolt rifle. They're all kind of combined in there. They've all got the same keywords across them. So I'm just going to throw in some of these. I think it looks great. So yeah, if you'll indulge me, I'm going to go and rip off some of my Intercessor arms. Rip off some of my Intercessor bodies and go and make some nostalgic nods to Space Marines. So thank you very much everybody, and I hope you like the Assault Intercessor squad if you get it, and I hope you enjoyed the rambling nature of this video, going down a little bit of a journey and of discovery. And so yeah, thank you very much everybody, take care. And you will catch me on Twitch, I'm sure. It's twitch.tv/Chris Frossin. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever it's called, X, anything like that. It's at Chris Frossin there as well. So have a really good weekend. Take care. And if you do get some of these, please tag me in your work in progress photos. And if you do convert some up into cool shit like this, then let me know as well. Thanks very much. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you next time.